Ram trucks, built to serve.
Welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us. Best segment of the show coming up right now, besides Nick's Tears. That was good, too. Cowboys at Commanders, Sunday at 4. Dallas favored by 5.5. Dallas not resting. Here's Jerry Jones.
We all know the scenarios that have to happen for us to get a home game in the playoff. And that's one. Two, I certainly would love to have a bye. That's possible. And so those things are very important as we look at it from this perspective today. We've got to take care of business.
Successful season for the Cowboys is what?
Make the conference championship game. That's what it takes. I mean, getting a bye is not possible. I know he says it is. You need the Eagles and the Niners to lose. That's not going to happen this weekend. But you could make the conference championship game. And I think when you talk about the premier teams of my lifetime in the NFC, you think the Cowboys, you think the Niners, you think the Packers, you think the Eagles. The Packers, since the Cowboys last got to a conference championship game, have played in 7. The Eagles and Niners have both played in 6. The Cowboys have played in the same number as Detroit and Washington over the last quarter century, 0. I did this little medal thing for the Herd a year and a half ago, and it still applies. We can show it to you now. You get a gold medal for winning the Super Bowl, a silver medal for losing the Super Bowl, and a bronze medal for losing the conference championship game. Everybody, other than Commanders, Lions, and Cowboys, have multiple medals. Most teams have at least 4. The Cowboys are at 0 with a dysfunctional team in Washington and a team that's become a punchline over the years in Detroit. Get a game away from being a game away for the first time since I was in 6th grade. And I think, Coach, anyone would say for the Cowboys this year, that's a successful season.
I would go even further. I think they have to go to the Super Bowl, and they probably have to win the Super Bowl because...
Win the Super Bowl?
Well, here's the situation. What are the odds that Dan Quinn is going to be there the next year? And I can see Dan Quinn getting a head coaching job, moving on. The defense has been such a big part of the success that they've had, and they're going to go into a situation. Tony Pollard's a free agent. There's a lot of moving parts, and there's only so many times that you can get in the tournament with and come away with, either 1 and out or whatever the situation is. It's going to change dramatically, I think, in Dallas, especially if Dan Quinn leaves. And now going to be a lot harder to be where they are right
Quinn's
now.
Last dance.
I'm right in between you guys. They got to get to the Super Bowl. This is the Dallas Cowboys. And I get it that they've been a joke, essentially, for the last quarter century. But they are still, obviously, one of the greatest franchises in all of sports. They've still won 5 Super Bowls, second most to Pittsburgh and New England. Yep. That's it. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys do not play. And the medal thing was cute. It was legit, all right? But nobody cares. We don't celebrate getting to the conference championship game.
We're talking basketball
especially
or football?
If we're both.
Especially
if you're the Dallas Cowboys and your quarterback's in his 7th year, making $40 million a year. Your defense is supposedly one of the best, top 5, top 3 in the league. You got one of the best running games in the league. It's Super Bowl, and especially, let me not forget this, in this year's NFC, where it is the most wide open that we've ever seen it. When Brock Purdy is standing in your way, Tom Brady's 45, having one of his worst seasons, Aaron Rodgers having probably his worst season. They got to get to the Super Bowl for them to smile about this season.
Can I just ask a question real quick? What you guys are saying is, the question is, what's a successful season? So you guys are saying, if the first weekend of the playoffs, the Cowboys dispatch of Tom Brady, and the second week in the playoffs, they probably be going to Philadelphia. They go and beat the Eagles. And then in the third weekend, they lose at San Francisco. You guys are going to be like, failure of a season. Well, look, another blown opportunity.
Chris makes a really good point, though. This is a wide open NFC. It's not like you're looking at juggernaut after juggernaut, and it's very different than what you face if you were in the AFC. And this is a team that has established veteran players that are healthy and for the most part, continuity. They should be able to push that far.
I don't think Dak can lose to Brock Purdy. I know Brock Purdy's playing great, but if Dak loses to Brock Purdy, Who's making what?
I think you guys are wildly underrating. I think you guys are saying the NFC is wide open because you guys continue to underrate the Niners. They haven't lost in 2.5 months. They have the best defense in the league.
But they're still playing with a rookie, inexperienced quarterback, and he's doing a great job. He really is. But that's what they're playing with. And Dallas is playing with what they believe to be a franchise quarterback.
Right. Makes $40 million.
And a established team with a significant amount of veterans and very good skill players in a lot of areas.
They're the wild card. If they go on the road and win 2 playoff games, it's a good year.
No. Okay. Not for Dallas.
Not for Dallas. It would have done something they haven't done since you were. I don't working at the Times picking you. I don't know where you were.
Where was I?
We're in '96. Where were you?
Akron Beacon Journal.
There you go.
Covering the Cavs when LeBron was a toddler.
Celtics, big blowout loss. Big deal, no big deal. We discuss next. First things first.